Anxiety is a very common mental health issue. Symptoms associated with anxiety can range from mild to severe. Obsessive compulsive disorder and other related disorders, trauma and stress related disorders, and anxiety disorder are the three subtypes of anxiety. The most common anxiety disorder is social phobia, where one fears being in certain social situations. When anxiety is inappropriate for the situations we face, or when it gets in the way of our regular daily activities, it becomes a problematic reaction. Our bodies signal danger when a meeting, deadline, or family issue makes us anxious. But taking physical action is rarely the best course of action. Instead, we have to put up with the uncomfortable sensation of a racing heart and tense muscles frequently while just grinning and bearing it. While occasional episodes of unresolved anxiety are manageable for all of us, if the anxiety persists or reappears frequently, it can have serious negative effects on our health. People who experience ongoing anxiety, such as those going through a divorce or working under intense pressure, frequently experience high blood pressure, insomnia, digestive issues, skin disorders, mood swings, depression, and a wide range of other health issues. Additionally, the effects of anxiety can greatly exacerbate any current health issues one may have. Even when they're not in danger or facing a significant challenge, people can occasionally experience the symptoms of anxiety. People with anxiety disorders are vulnerable to the same health problems as anyone else with prolonged anxiety. Additionally, they might go through episodes of extreme anxiety and worry known as panic attacks. The heart races and breathing becomes rapid or challenging during a panic attack. The symptoms of the condition include cold sweats, tingling in the extremities, and weakness and dizziness. Although they rarely last long, a few seconds to half an hour, panic attacks are incredibly terrifying. People may be overcome by overwhelming terror or believe they're having a heart attack or stroke. There are three main classes of medications used to treat anxiety. They include antidepressants, such as Prozac, Zoloft, Lexapro, Paxil, Celexa, and Effexor. Another common category are the benzodiazepines, such as Klonopin, Ativan, Xanax, and Buspar. And last but not least, there are beta blockers, which are typically employed in the treatment of cardiovascular diseases like high blood pressure, but they're also employed in the reduction of anxiety, like propranolol, Inderal. Of course, there are potential side effects to all these medications, which can include anything from weakness to headaches, vertigo, poor memory, and insomnia or worse. These medications shouldn't be used over an extended period of time. You can take certain actions to lessen your symptoms if you experience persistent anxiety, whether it's brought on by an anxiety disorder or a significant unresolved source of tension. It's crucial to also rule out any underlying physical causes as you use the Arukah method's healing techniques. Nutritional deficiencies, as well as disorders like low blood sugar, hormone imbalance, heart issues, and clinical depression can cause anxiety symptoms. A few substances can also cause or exacerbate anxiety. Although caffeine is probably the most well-known chemical for causing tension, other substances like sugar, food allergens, nicotine, alcohol, environmental toxins, and allergens can be just as effective. The symptoms of anxiety are constant worry, restlessness and tension, trembling, sweating, heart palpitations, weakness or tiredness, lump in the throat, diarrhea, feeling powerless, feeling of impending doom, dizziness, sleep disturbance, appetite changes, rapid pulse or high blood pressure, muscle tension, chest pains, hyperventilation, panic attacks, difficulty concentrating, and headache. Now, the root causes of anxiety include, number one, stress. And stress is one of the root causes of many health issues. And if it's not the root cause, it's certainly very often an exacerbator of many health issues. Also, caffeine, sugar, nicotine, alcohol and street drugs, prescription medications, disturbed sleep, food allergies, environmental toxins, poor nutrition, thyroid problems, mitral valve prolapse, low blood sugar, depression, adrenal disorders, neurotransmitter imbalance. Those are all possible root causes for anxiety, although it's not limited to these things, but these are very common root causes. There are various testing techniques that you can do to test if your anxiety is caused by certain things. And these are tests that you can even do from home. You can order the test online. You can search for these tests on Amazon. I don't really like to get caught up in test results because they can very often be easily misinterpreted by people, laymen who are doing the test themselves, and even by medical doctors. Okay, but it's good to just have some information. I wouldn't base all of my conclusions on one or even a few tests. It's just giving you a glimpse. It can give you part of the picture. So different testing techniques could be hormone analysis by saliva, urine, or blood for estrogens, progesterone, DHEA, cortisol, thyroid panel. And DHEA and cortisol are particularly important when it comes to anxiety. Also, your fasting blood sugar level, that test, food allergy sensitivity testing. So, in case your anxiety is contributed to because of food allergies. Also, neurotransmitter testing through urine or blood. And I'd like to share with you a formula for depression, anxiety, and hyperactivity that I learned from my teacher in herbalism, one of my teachers in herbalism, Master Herbalist John R. Christopher. And this formula is called Mind Track. And it's good for adults as well as children and seniors. And the herbs in Mind Track have properties that are similar to their drug counterparts without harmful chemicals. Psychiatric drugs are far more dangerous to take than people realize. They have negative side effects, including addiction, and they can produce withdrawal symptoms that are emotionally and physically distressing or even life-threatening. So the herbs in Mind Track are formulated to support and heal the body naturally in response to stress. Drugs are used to treat the symptoms, not cure the problem. Skullcap and valerian root. Let's see, skullcap and valerian root. Those are the first two herbs listed in the formula. They're both nervine sedatives and antispasmodics. Besides their calming nature on the nerves and muscles, these herbs promote regular and restful sleep. Mullein and lobelia are antispasmodics as well as cleansers, and they help cleanse the blood by assisting the lymph and the glandular systems. St. John's wort has been proven in scientific studies to mimic the effects of antidepressant drugs, and it's so effective that it's strongly advised by Dr. Christopher, Master Herbalist John R. Christopher, against combining this herb with any antidepressant drug to transition safely from prescription medicine to natural healing. You should also do some liver cleansing. You can check out their liver formula for that. Mind Track also contains 2 additional stimulants, Gotu Kola and Ginkgo biloba, to synergize the St. John's wort herb. By improving the blood flow and oxygen circulation to the head, these herbs have been used traditionally to improve memory, nerve response, and mental alertness. As I'm getting older, I feel like my memory is not as good, so I take ginkgo biloba personally as often as I can, almost every day. Also, there's a food base of Jurassic green, which is flash-dried alfalfa, barley, and kamut. And this supplies the body with essential vitamins and minerals in an all-natural form. B vitamins, chlorophyll, calcium, magnesium, and potassium in this formula help regulate nerve transmission and muscle response. Science continues to show that the mind and body are connected, and stress creates biochemicals which circulate along with the blood. Because the liver is already burdened by pollutants, these stressful byproducts are less likely to be eliminated quickly. So to reduce the burden on the liver, Mind Track also contains 3 herbs: sarsaparilla, dandelion, and Oregon grapefruit. These are excellent for liver detoxification and blood cleansing. So all together, the herbs that are in Mind Track, again, just going to list them all out again: valerian root, skullcap, ginkgo biloba, Oregon grapefruit, St. John's wort, mullein, gotu-kola, sarsaparilla, dandelion, lobelia, and Jurassic green. Okay, so the most cost-effective way to buy these herbs is to buy each one in bulk and mix it all yourself. You can do that at, from pacificbotanicals.com and mountainroseherbs.com. You can just search for each herb and purchase each herb in powder form or in bulk form. And then when you get it, mix it all together and mix the powder in a drink or make a tea out of it. But, a lot of people don't have time to do all that, or they just don't want to. So probably the most convenient form to buy Mind Track is from, let's see this, and I'm going to put this in the slide. Let me see what the URL is again. drchristophersherbshops.com. That's the website URL. And just search for Mind Track, MINDTRAC, one word. And you, I think if I were to buy it from this herbal store, I would get it in the silver bag form, not in capsules. It'll be more expensive if it's in capsules, and you can easily just put the powder in some juice, or better yet, add it in some hot water, or add it in some hot tea. Chamomile would be a good hot tea to drink it with, and there's others also, which we'll talk about. But yeah, so Mind Track, this is an excellent herbal formula. And, Master Herbalist John R. Christopher, one of his herbal formulas was responsible for so much healing in my life and also my family's life. So I really value his recommendations when it comes to herbalism. For dosage, I would probably do a level teaspoon every it's 3 times a day. So 1 level teaspoon 3 times a day. With the capsule form, they recommend I think it's 2 to 3 capsules 3 times a day. But if I were to get the powder form, I would just do 1 level teaspoon 3 times a day, or as needed. So that's just a guideline. You can do more. I mean, herbs are extremely safe. I mean, they're plants, right? They're thousands and thousands of times safer than pharmaceutical drugs. Children can do half or 2/3 of an adult dosage. So the general rule is, when I say when you give a general dosage, it's for a normal size adult, and so you would divide that for children according to their weight. Okay. Okay, so let's talk about some more herbs that are great for anxiety. Okay, and these are recommendations from naturopath Josh Axe, as well as neurosurgeon Dr. Russell Blaylock, who ran a holistic nutrition clinic to treat people with various conditions, and also holistic medical doctor James F. Balch, along with his wife, who's a nutritionist and herbalist, Phyllis Balch. Okay, so these are their additional recommendations in terms of herbs. You've got kava or kava root, passion flower, white tea, valerian, relora, and ashwagandha. So let's talk about these various herbs. First, kava. Kava or kava root. Research shows that kava root can be used to treat anxiety because it's a non-addictive and non-hypnotic anxiolytic. Kava is used to improve mood, ease anxiety, and boost sociability. It works by stimulating dopamine receptors and inducing euphoria. In fact, a randomized controlled trial conducted in Australia found that kava can be considered a first-line therapy for generalized anxiety disorder, and it's shown to be safe for people undergoing treatment. A meta-analysis report by Cochrane that involved 7 trials suggests that there are significant effects from kava treatment for anxiety with few side effects, which are all considered mild. You can take 200 to 250 milligrams 2 to 3 times daily of a product standardized to 30% kava lactones. Kava can significantly relieve a panic attack as well as the symptoms of generalized anxiety. But I must warn you, if you're using a pharmaceutical tranquilizer, you should talk to your doctor about making the switch. Do not, under any circumstance, take kava at the same time you're taking a medication for anxiety, depression, or Parkinson's disease. Do not use kava while consuming alcohol or if you have elevated liver enzymes. Be aware of the most common side effects, including headache, drowsiness, and diarrhea. But still, I absolutely believe that kava root is 1,000 times safer than the pharmaceutical anxiety drugs that are commonly prescribed. Next, we have passion flower. You can take 250 milligrams or 0.5 milliliters 2 or 3 times daily. Passion flower relaxes a person without causing sedation. White tea contains a flavonoid called epigallocatechin gallate. Sorry if I didn't pronounce that correctly. This flavonoid has recently been shown to calm the brain and reduce anxiety, and it works by activating the organ's most protective system against anxiety, the gamma aminobutyric acid, or GABA, G-A-B-A receptor. There's a supplement for GABA as well. This aids sleep as well. White tea has a higher level of this flavonoid and much less fluoride than green tea. White tea, green tea, and black tea, they're all the same plant. White tea has the most caffeine amount because it's the most raw form. So if you're going to drink white tea and you're sensitive to caffeine, you should probably drink it in the early hours of the day, in the morning, and not in the later hours, okay? But it's very good. And now we have also valerian root. And for those who do not want to take a pharmaceutical drug, the herb valerian has been shown to activate the same calming brain GABA receptor, GABA, GABA, just like we talked about with the white tea. And it's been used to induce sleep, but also calms anxiety during the day. So it should not be mixed with medications that act as sedatives or tranquilizers, because then it would just be too much. Now, valerian, it can be taken throughout the day, but remember, it is calming. Okay, so it's really good for nighttime, especially when you want to sleep. Relora is another useful product. It's a blend of 2 extracts, Philodendron amirans and Magnolia officinalis. In a number of tests, relora has been shown to reduce excess cortisol levels associated with stress while improving mood and reducing stress. It acts via the brain's GABA and serotonin systems, which are both important in controlling anxiety. Ashwagandha. Ashwagandha is an adaptogen herb that is often used as a natural remedy for anxiety because it helps stabilize the body's response to stress. In a systematic review that addressed data on the effectiveness of ashwagandha as a treatment for anxiety, researchers found that most studies concluded with significant improvement in anxiety symptoms with ashwagandha therapy. However, ashwagandha is not only a stress reliever, it also protects the brain from degeneration, and it works to improve anxiety symptoms by destroying free radicals that cause damage to the brain and body. Research shows that ashwagandha helps improve focus, reduce fatigue, and fight anxiety without the side effects of most anti-anxiety medications. I personally take ashwagandha every day, 3 times a day, as part of my herbal supplementation formula that I take for not anxiety, but hypothyroidism. But there's a little bit of anxiety that is, included in hypothyroidism, since it affects my ability to deal with stress and anxiety. Okay, so in this lesson, we covered herbs for anxiety. In future lessons that I'm going to be creating, we're going to cover diet and orthomolecular nutrition, or supplements that are going to be good for anxiety, as vitamins, minerals, and other supplements. Diet, as well as lifestyle, which will cover exercise and stress reduction. Okay, these are also very important elements that we'll cover in future lessons. And remember, I like the source that I like to get most of my supplements from is vitacost.com. And we also have, other links, like the link to MindTrack, which I talked about the herbal formula earlier, at drchristophers.herbshop.com. There's also mountainroseherbs.com and pacificbotanicals.com if you want to buy the herbs in bulk, raw, and mix up the formula yourself if you have the time and the interest to do that. So thank you for joining me for this lesson on mastering anxiety. And you can get the resources and get the other lessons when they come out. I'm going to put all the resources for this lesson on I'll give it to you. Just go to arukah.com, arukah.com/anxiety, and you can get the slides for this wellness webinar, as well as the Google Doc, or whatever I'll have with the full text, or most of the text of what I'm saying, basically the transcript of what I'm saying, not the complete transcript, but pretty close, because I always add comments in there that aren't in the original transcript. And also I'll give you the future lessons for this series on mastering anxiety, the Arukah method for mastering anxiety, when you subscribe for the resources there. So just go to arukah.com, arukah.com/anxiety. This is Mayim Vega, your naturopathic herbalist and holistic life coach. And if you are interested in getting personal health coaching, just visit my website at arukah.com and click on Get Coaching. Okay? Shalom.